Welcome to Biggest Geekest. We're your hosts. I'm Randy.
And I'm Joe.
Episode 93 of the show, and the date is Tuesday, June 21, 2022. What's new, man?
Well, for those who are watching, we have some new things up for your visual pleasure, a new background, and have a larger logo here in the bottom left. So hopefully, you guys, uh, it will it will aid you in your visual stimuli.
Visual stimuli. Well, that's so nice of you, Joseph. Oh, man. Uh, I got no game in except I did, see, last week. Oh, Wednesday. Yeah, I played. Oh, that's right. I played my, did I talk? I think it was last week. We played my second playtest of
Hmm.
the VentureCon game. Went pretty well. We didn't get all the way through it this time, but we ended up chatting a little at the end. But that's the thing. Baron G Rock says he needs more stimulation.
I can't help you with that.
Sorry, dude. We're trying. Look at all the pretty colors and the cool dungeon corridor. You ready to talk about D&D?
That's what it's about.
But yeah, so that went pretty well. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of cool stuff. Had some characters lose control of their characters. It was just fun.
Oh, that's always fun.
That's always fun.
Got to take away that player agency.
That's correct. I completely removed it. So and railroaded the crap out of them and said, "You start here. How come? Because I said so."
I said so.
But it was
What
fun.
you're doing?
It was a very good game. So, how about you, Joseph? Did you squeeze anything in game wise this week?
I did not. I did. We had a movie night over at a friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
Watched What Is a Woman, um, and been working on a few things here in the podcast. You see it here, folks that are listening. After the fact, there's practically no improvement from your point of view.
I think it looks fabulous. But a little thing too. I did level my character to second level, Martinson. So now my cleric has got 17 hit points. I am and an extra first level spell slot. So I am practically unstoppable now. I don't think he can die.
For was that?
Oh, the game I'm playing tomorrow, yeah. So Greg's Wrath of the Righteous, not Pathfinder, but using a variant of 5e.
You have
So
17 hit points
17 hit points, dude.
at second level.
Yeah,
Holy crap!
yeah. Who can beat me?
I don't think anybody.
I literally don't think I can die. But we'll find out. So probably come
You
back.
could have two swords sticking out of you and still be alive.
I know, and I'm saying that, and Greg will probably kill me. So, and God made what is that there? Legion. What is a woman is good, but in God made woman is better. I don't know that one, but okay.
I don't either.
Sounds like something that may need to watch. Welcome everybody in the chat. It's really good to see everybody tonight.
Yes.
Excited?
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. But
We
then
have so many things.
we have things, yeah.
So many things.
So what about I guess we jump into it. Did we have any call-ins or anything this week?
I don't think so. I'll double check it just to be sure, just in case someone might have slipped one in.
Rebecca De Mornay softcore in the late 80s.
Oh, no thanks.
No, El Paso is not just a town in Texas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nothing.
Okay. So let's move into our first little topic.
We could talk about. We're going to have a special guest, not next.
Oh.
Next week we're going to have a special guest, right? Did we already talk about that last week?
Well, we hinted at it. You had to talk to him, but now it's set.
Yes.
Yes, Patrick, he did. We have a shirt design that I am going to be modeling at VentureCon 2020.
You're going to be. Oh, that you're going to add modeling to your CV now.
To my CV and my resume. I figured that'll probably get me some good jobs.
I'll put you over the top.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be an icon then. So yeah, I'll be on the runway. But yeah, it looks great, Patch. Can't wait.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Pat. Hey, do we want to show it? Is there a way to show it?
I don't know if Pat, is he ready to display it? Or are you still working, homeboy? Patrick Demo's doing the design for the Biggest Geekest T-shirt, and then we'll be wearing it and showing how cool we are. At VentureCon, Joe will be wearing it in spirit at VentureCon. In fact, I think I'm going to summon him. Oh, T-shirts in the house. What's up?
Yeah. So next week, if you didn't hear last week, next week we're going to have a special guest on, and the name escapes me.
Legend. Oh no, shoot!
Legacy Game Master.
Legacy Game Master.
All I needed was the L. This old brain needs a little extra.
Yeah. I don't really have go ahead.
You have the go ahead
to show the picture. Do I have it?
You showed it. You sent it to me. You should have it.
I have to go to Facebook to get it though. I'm scared of Facebook. Let me see here. I'll do it.
Yes, Martinson. Actually, that's a good idea. Mainly because I had already spoken to Randy about that before streaming. Yes. So we agree.
Yeah. So
Randy is looking for.
I'm going to share my screen if I can do this. I'm feeling very technically savvy at the moment.
Do it.
And share screen. And then, is it shared?
I do not see a thing.
Share screen.
Yeah, you have to actually.
What a mess.
Holy crap, dude.
Look at that chaos.
There it is. And
I'm not seeing, and I hit it. So now I guess I can't see it. So
yeah, if you're just looking with if you're just working with one screen, it can be difficult.
Okay, I'm working with one screen, but everybody else can see this.
Yes.
Need to make it bigger.
There you go.
All right, sweet sword going to the D20. Biggest Geek is going to add a little bit more onto it. That's our first try. So yeah,
I really like it.
Yeah, thanks,
it
Patrick.
Keeps all the elements
metal
of what I made our logo here, and it's at the bottom left of the screen, and improves upon it, I believe.
Yeah, he took the inspiration, I believe. If I can tell Patrick's little story about that, I'm going to now
unshare.
Had to share. Am I still sharing?
Yes, you are. Unshare.
Let me unshare. Okay.
There you go.
And so he took inspiration from Thor: Love and Thunder. Stop, not the show, just the display. Sort of the what's it called? The old used to be a movie poster because it's got the '80s metal type rock and roll albums. So yeah.
For the font, for the lettering.
Yes, for the lettering.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so it was really, I'm really excited about it. So, and I think, the cards idea is good. I want us to get we'll see products down the road, hopefully soon. So we move into the next topic of discussion here.
Yes, let us plunge in.
Okay, I'll let you. I probably don't want to share anything. I got several videos.
Let me do it.
Okay, you do.
I'll do it.
It's about Satine Phoenix and her husband dude, and the issues folks got all worked up about. I have to admit, I'm not fully sure. Are they mad because she kept money? Is that what it's about?
Okay, so bad business practices.
Okay.
Superior acting towards others. I'm better than you. Kind of. That's perceptual. So when I read through this is an article out at Ian World about the whole situation, about one side of the situation. This isn't Satine Phoenix saying this is what happened. This is other people saying this is what happened. So it's a little one-sided. The injured parties are complaining, which I don't blame them, really. But it seems like hurt feelings, not no bumps and bruises. Nobody got punched or anything. Which some of the rhetoric folks are out there using is they don't feel safe. And
who cares?
One person described the situation as terrifying, and I'm like, okay, so what is that guy's name? Is it this article? One of them. I think there's a link in here. in this article that goes to another article. And the fellow there said that Satine Phoenix and her husband, what is his name?
I don't know.
Whatever his name is.
Weirdo.
Stone. Something Stone. Anyway, kind of pushed their way into the castle, D&D in a castle attraction, and kind of took it over from him and pushed him out. And he felt not so great about that. He said he worked really hard. It was his idea. It looks like, though, he wasn't a financial partner. He didn't own anything.
Oh,
he was an idea guy. He gathered up people to be there, but he didn't own any piece of it. So it's easy just to say, well, bye.
And this past week, I don't know if you saw Pundit had an episode. I think he was talking about D&D in a castle in general.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about where it was located is not really a hot spot in England, and most people don't want to go there. And then it's not really much of a castle, but it's a glorified hotel.
Right.
And whatever, I don't care. I mean, if you want to pay big bucks, and it's like it's $3 or $4 grand just to book it.
Just go play D&D for a few days.
Yeah, and
no.
I talk about my vanity purchases, like the Tiamat and stuff, which are high. That's paying for a vanity experience, I guess.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you have money to blow,
yeah, I guess do it, man. You can blow $5,000 and for a weekend, but I don't know. Now I did think that the Venger Satanis situation. Now, was Venger joking with them when he responded? Do you have that?
Yes, I do have that.
That was pretty cool on Twitter.
So, as a the Satine Phoenix controversy is lots of people's feelings were hurt. There were potentially some poor business practices, allegedly. So, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Alleged poor business practices. And what they're doing is, according to the article, they are focusing all of the bad PR onto the husband, so that the wife, who participated in all of it, apparently,
yes,
so that she could come out, smelling like a rose.
Well, because she's a little bit bigger name in the D&D community.
Yeah. Right.
Community.
And apparently they do cruises.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Well, to be fair, though, I thought it was pretty cool. I know Savage World's Pinnacle did a cruise the year before COVID, and then I think last year they met in Tombstone, Arizona, and had a big weekend of Deadlands play in Savage World, which I think is kind of cool. But you was on your own dime, and they didn't purport to be, you didn't pay extra. You just paid to get out there and played.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, it was just a cool thing to do as an event. And I mean, I have no problem with a D&D cruise or a D&D castle thing. It's fine. I wouldn't pay for it. And it sounds like I just didn't like the response that Venger got. I mean, some people are just so weak.
Yeah.
I mean, Venger in this is this the Twitter account?
Yeah. So this is where it started at with Venger. So D&D in a castle, which is one of the things we're talking about here as a segue.
Yeah.
They announced that they're going to uninvite Satine Phoenix and Jameson Stone to their venue. And there were some other people that followed suit after that happened. And then let's see, and this is the guy here, DM Jason. This is a terrifying statement.
So terrifying. I think it's the next link, Joe. It's a photo because I couldn't find it in that link. I didn't want to do all that.
Maybe. Okay, I will. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, so you can share that.
On over here.
Yeah.
And
make it larger, probably, for everybody to see.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me do this. Where is that? There is a thing. Where's the thing? There it is. So, Venger says to them, since they were out, he was volunteering his services as world's greatest DM according to him.
Right.
Keep it old school, Hoss.
Yep.
And then
the crybaby responses come in.
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
For the record, there is no amount of money in the world you could pay me to play in a game run by Venger Satanis. I'd rather burn my books. Asked no one. Okay.
Right.
But D&D in a Castle also said, as would we, because they're a bunch of losers.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to like Venger. You don't have to like him there. But
Nope.
I mean, the amount of crap here is really low T. So
well, it's because they are. That whole group is Babyville.
Yeah. You have a little bit of masculinity, and they all run and hide because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah. And like I said, I'm with you. I'm not sure what the real deal is. A lot of crying and stuff. Oh yeah, VengerCon. Woohoo.
Yes. So he's doing his own thing.
Yep.
With VengerCon.
Gonna be there. And the truth is, folks, I'm not a big fan of what he puts out. In fact, I would never buy it.
Right.
It's too risque for me. And I find it funny that I'm a Christian and I feel more of a connection as a person to a Satanist than I do many of the left. I mean, the Venture claims that, right?
Yeah, it's Satanist as a lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Satanism as a lifestyle, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but it seems like it's more Satanism as a lifestyle, as a kind of a social thing, persona, less the human sacrifice.
No, Patrick says he will never complain about Vengers games after seeing Lewd Dungeons, the role-playing game.
Oh, yeah, I saw about that.
I think he posted something about that on Facebook this week, and that's pretty hardcore craziness.
Yeah, let's complain all about Venger, but let's do lewd, and then there's always the thirsty sword lesbian nonsense. So
but Vengers not family friendly because they are.
So VengerCon, that's in Madison, Wisconsin on starting July 2nd. If you would like to go.
22nd, 2/2.
22nd, yes.
Yeah, we'll be there. I'll be there Thursday, but starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So very excited. Should be cool. Then our buddy Red Dice Diaries, he went to UK Game Expo. Yeah, good old John Allen Large. Shout out to him. He did a little video casting, which we finally got to see Hannah. That was kind of cool. You know what? I'm going to say this. Not that it's not anything weird. She looked almost exactly like I thought she would look.
Oh, okay.
It almost never happens, right? You hear a voice or a thing, and I'm
right, because the voice.
Hannah in my mind. I don't know why, but she pretty much reminded me of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's true. T-shirt. We heard that. Biggest Geekus Avengers latest adventure module. Yeah, that one about the Cimmerian or whatever. Good Cimmerian got up on Drive Through RPG and got taken down, and he bought it.
Yeah, how dare they have an evil guy in there that was really evil and did evil stuff? How dare he?
Yeah, I can't believe it. An evil villain that does evil stuff. What?
Hey, Connell.
Yeah, what's up, man? Randy said, "Hey, Connell." Who's that guy? Randy Nichols posting all the time. What a weirdo. Leave, Randy. We got time for you, dude. But anyway, I was thinking, I don't know if I have it, but I want to try to do some video at VengerCon, at least of my game. So I'll be dungeon mastering, and I don't know how to do both, but I'd like to. Maybe I can get one of the dudes to videotape the dungeon mastering, a part of my session.
Hold on, time out. T-shirted. He put in, according to T-shirt in his forum, he put up a new one for Pride Month today.
Yes,
and it was taken off in less than an hour. So hey, I'll have to look that up. Oh, do you know? Was it kind of a poke in the nose for Pride Month?
Rainbow.
Oh yeah. Rainbow Crystal Utopia.
T-shirt. I have a question. You've looked at it or looked at the other one? I don't know if you bought both of them. Do you think would I be put off? Is it just classic Venger, crazy sexed up stuff, or could I possibly get it and not feel horrible? Because I'd like to support him and help out, but he just doesn't make stuff that I think I'm down with.
Yeah. So, Gonzo isn't up your alley, Randy.
Not really.
So yes, I watched the video. They park where they had to park or stay was a long way from the actual con site. I don't know if that's typical. Well, it probably depends on the con.
UK Expo is big, dude.
Hmm.
And Gen Con, Patrick can verify. Anybody here that's been to Gen Con, you can be in. I mean, I had a hotel once where I was like 45, 50 minutes away from the town, from the city. That's never again. We tried to save some money, and then we had ones that were even a mile or two away, and that was a little bit of a pain in the butt. But yeah, so they were really doing some humping out there, walking, no doubt. But yeah, they did a good job. It was good to see them. Okay, cool. T-shirt says that one is not raunchy. The first one involves child sacrifice to a demon, right, as a metaphor for abortion. It's short and not really raunchy. It's just touchy subject matter. Oh, then I need to buy it from him directly.
And my first one is, what does he say? Bought them both. New one.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm gonna have to get them from Venger then.
directly.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I think Cal's predicting our topic here. I want to bring that up. Don't game, run away, or it will cost you so much money being hooked on little miniatures. True.
gird your loins.
Loins have been girded.
Hey, Shadow.
Yeah, what's up?
Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
All right. So, yes, go check out Red Dice Diaries. They're good people.
Yeah, they are. It was a good little tour of a little piece of the expo that they were a part of. This next one I think is yours, dude. You wanted to put this one in. What'd you think?
Oh.
What comment did you want to make on the Space Marines or dudes?
Oh, you know what?
What?
Hold on.
Huh?
Did you have a more recent? You must have had a more recent version of the outline that had a link.
Oh, you don't have it? Then I will help.
So put it in the chat, and then I will put it up.
Oh, okay. I will help you.
Put it in the
yeah, gotcha.
private.
Joe is making me learn stuff.
Yes, you are learning tonight how to do things. You
wasn't part of the deal. I was supposed to be just the incredibly good-looking, talented one. You're supposed to do all the like menial labor, technical crap.
Okay, Space Marines. Okay, well, this is just about Space Marines in general. All right. So
We go down to where they talk about what you talked about.
let's see. Wait, Ryan, range, genetic mutations, gene, seed. Here we go. So I will share alike.
And it was just an article I thought would get to the point that you wanted to make, I believe.
Yeah. So there was a bit of across in my Twitter feed. There was someone who mentioned that, hey, Warhammer 40K Space Marines are dudes and just dudes, and they stuck to their lore. They didn't change it for a new book that they put out.
Okay.
So, of course, there was some, backlash, but not much. It's just Twitter. So Twitter's not a real place anyway, but it provides some interesting things to talk about. And holy crap, we're going up to almost 20 in the chat. That's awesome that are watching us.
Connell wants to speak privately with you. You could
yes, I see.
You could be in trouble.
Thank you. Thank you. DVR Army is here.
Yeah. What's up, phone
guy? Thank you, phone guy. And RV503.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, thank you for stopping by. Anyway, apparently, people don't like the fact that some people, the stupid people, don't like the fact that Space Marines are only dudes. It's very much baked into their, and of course they have a woman. This is Game Rant, so
yeah.
Instead of having an actual Space Marine up front in the picture, they have a woman who's probably one of the sisters. There's a battle sister. Yep. So, which is stupid. I mean, whatever. Yeah, they don't have women because the Space Marine armor and program is specifically designed with the male DNA and body chemistry and all of that in mind.
Oh, Joe, there's no difference between men and women.
Right. Correct. None.
Yeah. So, yeah, T-shirt.
According to stupid people, of course.
T-shirt expands. He might be a. I'm not a. I'm gonna say a fan. I think Warhammer 40K is cool. I don't know much about it. He says there never were female space marines. The progenitors of each chapter were all Nephilim-like giants who founded each chapter, and they were all men. Yeah, so probably they couldn't do it. And and Bruce Lombardo. Hey, what's up, Bruce? He says,
Bruce.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is, that they're all dudes from. Warhammer 40K is a miniature battle. I know they have an RPG arm as well. I can't remember the name of it, but 40K is a miniature battle game, and all the minis where they don't have helmets or where they show the face, they're all dudes. So, deal with it.
I think Dark Heresy was their RPG.
Yeah, Dark Heresy. That sounds right.
And apparently that's a beautiful looking book.
Yeah, the Sisterhood of Battle, or the Sisters of Battle, are not Space Marines.
No.
They are the Sisters of Battle, and they do their own thing.
I played Dark Heresy one session with a friend of ours, John T. down south in Detroit. And it was, the Space Marines, we never ran into them, but apparently they were a lot better than all of us.
Dark Heresy, confirmed.
Confirmed.
Yes. Good. So the reason I even brought it up is we're not into 40K.
No.
But it's another part of the overall hobby of miniatures and role playing where the lore staying true to itself over time at least means something to the 40K guys, and folks just want it to be folks want it to change with the times.
They want it to be representative. Everything has got to change with the time. Everything has got to be. Let's make today representative of how representative the hobby is now, like it wasn't before.
Yeah, as if that's. I mean, some people. We were talking off stream about the whole Chris Evans situation, and he has the same misguided opinion that human experience progresses positively over time, period. And that's not true. There's ups and downs and valleys. And are we any better right now with the way this country is so decadent than the Roman Empire? I think we're worse in a lot of ways.
I do too.
So saying that humans have an upward trajectory over time is really silly and a misreading of history. And that's what they want. That's the opinion of progressives, a lot of them.
Always, almost.
And they want that positive trajectory reflected in fantasy lore for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't even know. More DV Army people in. DJ Craze, cool. Thanks. They hooking us up tonight. Come by and saying hi. Cool.
DJ.
Yep.
Nice mask.
Oh, yeah. That is a nice mask. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bruce agrees with you. We are at Heroes Rome. Yeah. Except I don't know if it's going to be, part of me thinks it's going to be the Christians. Other part of me just thinks it's going to be anybody that doesn't toe the super crazy left line.
Well, there's a new group called Gays Against Groomers, or Against Grooming, who want to say no to. They just want to do their own thing and not drag the children into it.
Dude, I tell you what.
If they would just do that, then who would even care?
There's a podcast I listened to by a gay man about my age called Disaffected. I've told Joe about this before, and he is part of that. I mean, he has no love for any of that stuff. He's belligerently right, but I mean, no, belligerent's wrong. He's very logical, but he also just has no patience for them.
And this is a gay man.
Yeah, a gay man. He's not about the grooming. He's not about the trans life.
Right. So I think that there are there is some correction going on in the trajectory. Just don't know if it's going to be enough or if it's going to be an overcorrection, which could happen. I mean, some of the weirdness of the feminist movement going fourth or fifth wave or whatever wave they're in is an overcorrection for the past, mistreatment of women, and they couldn't stop it getting all the rights because they have all of them plus some.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shadow says that they want their own lore, they can write their own damn game.
Exactly.
Make your space world where the women are the best thing in the universe. Do your thing, man. I don't care.
They can kit bash their miniatures. They just won't be able to use them in any official tournaments. But you could kit bash some miniatures to make some female-looking Space Marines, I guess. I don't know how you do that precisely, but I suppose you could.
If you're whatever. Oh, T-shirt, dude, that's nice.
Coming soon from Evil Hat, Thirsty Space Lesbian.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh
wow.
Yes, Charles Bartholomew Mortimer Norse. Oh, that's Chuck Norris, right?
Right.
Supposed to be Chuck Norris.
I believe so.
The focused prioritization of first world problems can destroy any civilization. Yeah, instead of focusing on self-improvement and all of that, and being there in your community, supporting your community and your family and all of that too, you got to focus on weird stuff.
Martinson's got it. Here's how you do it, Joe. Just add boobies. There you go.
That makes everything better, I guess.
Well, you got your female Space Marines now. You do it.
Just glue some boobies on there?
Some boobies on the little figures and then put armor over them. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do it, Joe.
Oh, correct. This is the way to do it, Connell. Space Amazons. No armor. At least not much more than their bikini armor. But there were some Space Amazons. Remember, I don't know. People cringe when I say it. That old YouTube movie, now I can't remember it, that had the police officer that ended up being a kung fu master, real campy. Hitler was in it.
Not Kung Fu Hustle. Was that it? No.
Kung Fury.
Kung Fury, yeah.
Kung Fury. They had a couple of Amazons in there with high-powered automatic weaponry.
Right.
And they weren't Amazons; they were Valkyrie. But that would work. Those two, you can make some miniatures based on those chicks. That would work. Here we go. Bruce, the woke tards can kit bash their Space Marines with green stuff.
That's probably a technical term for those miniature.
Green stuff. You can mold it. Yeah. It's stuff you can stick on there and mold. Put some tig old biddies and some huge but useless birthing hips on the figurines. Some size 16 to 20 thighs. Dummy thick.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Chicks with guns riding dinosaurs, because that's what they did.
Yes.
In Kung Fury. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Enough of that silliness.
Yep. I think we've already talked about VentureCon. So I guess we're ready to move in the main topic. We're going to look at some.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh,
what are you doing?
Do your thing. I apologize, Lord Master of Technology.
Can't believe you.
Believe me, that's how I roll. Subscribe, people.
Subscribe. Also.
Like.
Made some new things.
Look at that.
Made some new things for the folks who are listening. I've got a banner up here that says like, share, subscribe, and donate. Nothing fancy. Also, I have a ticker. Oh, I can do both at the same time. I can keep those up throughout the video, throughout the live stream, to remind people to donate. I don't know if it's going to work. What we should do is have kind of a one of those little a graphic of a circle inside of a circle, kind of a swirly graphic to try to hypnotize people.
Lexical.
Huh?
I'll tell you what, Joe. He looks like.
Yeah,
dude. Joe's wizardry on display. See, that's what Joe needs to do, and I don't have to do that. I just come on and be awesome. So,
Sure.
speaking of that, that's what we're about to do. About to get all awesome here. So, today, what are we going to talk about?
Main topic.
Yeah, lessons you wish you'd go back and tell your younger self when playing about D&D. Right now, do you want to kind of? I was thinking we might just go back and forth. I've got a list. You probably have some.
I added some to it. Yeah.
Sure. So, like, you could do, I could do one, you could do one, and you want to stick from the DM's perspective than the players, or do you want to just mix it up?
Well, you do DM, then I'll do player, and
Okay.
then the third one is kind of general. So
Sure.
we can both tag team that one.
Okay. So imagine we can go back when we were 13. What do I wish would happen? Well, first of all, for me, the first one is probably a no-brainer. And it's not that I did think this. I wish I hadn't thought of D&D as a competition, because I really did. I mean, one of the reasons I got the, Randy's going to kill us, is he going to kill us? And I have a bit of a killer DM moniker, even at Cabin Con still, though it's been forever since I've killed a character. I think even subconsciously as a young DM, I thought the purpose was not to try to challenge you, but to try to kill you, even though I did keep in the back of my mind, I need to do it fairly. I mean, I think had I been unfair and you just died every time you turned around, or you never could do anything, even you guys, mine being the only game in town, I think the game would have shut down. You guys would have fun. Because, I mean, I killed you enough to where it was annoying, but not enough to where you didn't keep coming back. Right?
Right.
Let you get a few levels, start feeling pretty good, hand you a staff, and then have some town mayor take the staff away from you. Yeah, that was pretty bad. So, but I kind of viewed the game like that. And so I wish I could go back and tell myself, look, dude, it's not a competition, because you can always win. You can always win. So
Yeah.
that's not even part of the fun, right? Challenge is one thing, but you're not trying to quote unquote beat them. You're actually hoping to challenge them and watch them win. At least I am. I do
Right.
players.
That's probably the most positive way you can approach it, I think. Well, without just saying you're just going to hand everything to them as a DM. Can no longer hear you.
Mute. Hello. I'm trying to be considerate and not chew my ice like I tend to do when I drink. So, T-shirted historian says, I also went through this phase because of BS, FU dungeons, like the Tomb of Horrors. I like the Tomb of Horrors, especially if you warn players now. I would run it. And I understand the warning. It actually says in that module, you may not want to bring your favorite character. You want to play one of the pre-gens. And I think it's a fun dungeon as long as the players all understand, look, this is probably going to be a slaughter fest. And I read that and thought that was the entire objective when I was 10. Fair enough. Yeah, it did seem like that. And Gygax at times, made me think that was
confrontational.
Yeah. Shadow's got a point. I think that comes up. Maybe somewhere along. I don't know. I'll just put it up there. Lesson I learned: never sell gaming material. I'm feeling that now.
Yeah.
Though I got a really cool bicycle out of it. I mean, I can't complain about that. I'm still riding that bad boy. But I lost a lot of my. I sold a bunch of my second and first edition stuff. And dude, Joe can tell you, I had good stuff. Not a lot of stuff. But
even though those old modules seemed like killer modules, we still had fun.
I think T-shirt's talking about specifically Tomb of Horrors. That's a death trap, dude.
Yeah.
Unless you've played it before. Look, I had a group. I read online. Some guy was trying to convince people. His group had never played it before, and they completely owned it. And I was like, okay, you guys might be the most incredibly, because you have to be lucky. There are some things you're going to do in there because it's normal. And Gygax says, well, they're going to do this. And he hid things in really weird places. And that Demi-Lich is so far beyond that. Oh, Patrick. Yeah, he's told me that. It still hurts me, and it wasn't even my stuff. He's talking about when I sold my stuff a few years ago. He was like, why didn't you contact me? I would have bought it. And I was like, sorry, dude.
Incoming share screen.
Okay. Incoming share screen.
Those are the Viking chicks from
Kung Fury.
Kung Fury. There's your female space marines. They kicked hind tail.
Yep. So, do you want me to read all the DM stuff? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I wish, play by the rules first before I decide to change things, dude. I remember looking at basic D&D. We mostly followed the rules. I wasn't too weird. But when I got the AD&D Player's Handbook, Joe and I were reading it, and I feel like maybe, Joe, you were a voice of reason at the moment, but because I was like, you have D8 hit points at first level, you could die by a sword swing. That's crazy. and so I that's true. Anyway, it's crazy because so what I did is I created this system where a first level thief had 50 hit points, first level wizard had 25, cleric had 75, and a fighter had 100 at first level. Because at that time the adventure was I'm creating a dungeon, you guys fight a bunch of monsters. It was like kick in the door, fight the monster, take the stuff. Yes, Connell, you could. He asked if you could run Tomb of Horrors through.
He means through.
Yeah, and there is a 3rd edition version, a 3.5 version, which can convert quite easily. You should be able to find online. So, yeah.
And I'm sure somebody online has converted it to Pathfinder.
Yeah, but I think that's just an example of I should have just played by the rules, built a character. Honestly, I actually wish that I had done everything completely by the book initially, because I just didn't have enough experience to start making homebrew rules as a young player. Even though I did happily, we built. Remember, you built that android.
Yeah.
Ray.
Well, I was like, I was reading a book, and I wanted to make a character like the character in the book, who was not an android, more like a cyborg who lost his memories. And then as he's progressing through the novel, he's remembering things and discovering the things he could do. And it wasn't that great of a book. By the end of it, I think he even turned into a dinosaur or some kind of creature. I mean, he could transform. So, I mean, that's kind of outside the scope of a D&D character, kind of, back in the day. I mean, a druid could shape change, but at mid to high level and into things that weren't that really tough.
Yeah. I thought druids came along later, but yeah, the android guy, I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, that seems crazy. He goes, that's what he had in the book. And I was like, okay.
I mean, the one cool thing is he could change the hue of his skin, so he didn't need to wear a black leotard to stink around like a ninja. He could make his skin not brownish, but actually black.
Yeah. So I do wish I'd tell my younger self, play it by the rules first.
Yeah.
Be really, not just strict, but follow it. I would have even followed encumbrance. I'd have done it all. I'd have done weapon speed factor, even as annoying as that was, just to quickly see, yeah, I really don't like this. And also, of course, I wish I had. Now I know initially, combat was what drew me into the game. Watching the thing about the fighting, but I do wish I had learned earlier that it was more than just combat. I don't know if you remember this. There was a phase where I really didn't like you guys' domain building. Like, we should attract followers now, shouldn't we? And I'm like, no.
Oh, you didn't like that at all.
You don't get no followers. That's dumb.
Nobody likes you.
Yeah, and I think secretly what it was, like, I don't want them sitting around and playing. I didn't know what would be playing. I was like, I want the game's about fighting. And to me, it was initially. It was like, well, I want you to use your cool new powers. I want you to sit and build a castle. That's dumb. And if you do build a castle, you're just going to hide in there, and then there's no adventure. That's what I was thinking. And I think I did mention at one point when we eventually got to domain building, I wish I'd explored that. And maybe Joe, it was just maybe we're too young to possibly do some of that stuff.
It might have seemed more than you were wanting to handle too, because it was going to take some effort on your part beyond just making the modules or the adventures.
Yeah, true. And now I did run a lot of modules, so that would have helped. But and there were times that I was like, I would read the module and be like, why don't you guys do this? Why don't you guys, why don't you guys go up and talk to this person? You guys would be like, I don't care what the dumb PC has to say. Let's get to the dungeon. And so, I think at times it cost you, though it didn't bother you because you guys won't roll up new characters, you'd be died. Other times you'd be like, it didn't matter because you guys just bulldozed something. Because it
Right.
wasn't uncommon for me to run adventures where you guys were higher level, and I ran them again because that's what I had.
Right. True.
I mean, I think you guys did Lost Caverns of Sojanth at the recommended level, and also at like 12th, 13th, 14th level. Though there's a few encounters in there where it was this Clay Golem was still scary. You guys were looking for him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I also wish I'd let the players be heroes more. It seems like I always want, and that might be part of the whole competition thing. That if you got, especially Joe's Wizard, and I do mean this, I think it'd be more fun. It's more fun now that I've played more. You want to be able to do the really cool stuff. So when you get teleport, you want to be able to save the party by teleporting them away from the demon lord. You want to be able to teleport across the planet and do something cool and come back with the cool rose that you need to complete this ritual. And I just kind of made everything really hard. Roll percentiles. Oh, look, you fell into a rock. You're dead. No one can find your body. Which, I know that's the rules, but dang. And I wish I had, even then, I think then I prepped less. I didn't think about prepping. I just thought about reading the module. But I do wish I had the times you guys were like, hey, can we play D&D? I'm like, I got nothing ready. I wish that at least half those times I just sat down and said, let's play. And just wing it. Because you guys weren't asking for much, now that I think about it. If I just said, okay, the town says, we've seen a few orcs over by the old fort that nobody lives no anymore. And he goes, oh, let's go kill them. I mean, just like that. Look at Legion. Then wait for teleport without error.
The chances for mishap weren't that bad if you knew where you were going. It's just, the never seen it before, or just, you're pointing on a map or described to you. But if you knew where you were going, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But, you still, it's a roll and you never know what it's going to be. You could easily end up, teleporting into some physical object.
And this one has this next one that I think about as a DM is more because in the last 5, maybe 8, 10 years, I've really, it's going to sound sappy, but I got a lot of good friends now, and D&D is what brings us together. And it is really more about the players than the game. Joe has said it. I've said it. I mean, if somebody at Cabin Con, I won't say that, but if someone at Cabin Con pulled out Fate, which none of us probably care to play, if they did, and we sat down to play it, I got news for you. We'd have fun.
As long as the game wasn't incomplete.
Yeah, it wasn't a railroad, but if they're trying to make...
not a railroad. I mean, if it wasn't a complete... We even played, what's that Jenga game? I keep forgetting the name of it. The Jenga has the Jenga tower. And
Dread.
Dread
Was great.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun because we know each other and we just riffed off of each other.
Yeah, Martinson actually ran it. And it was
it was fun.
But I wish I had thought about that more when we were younger, too. Because I do wish that our Monty Hall days, even though we did have a lot of high-powered craziness, I almost wish I'd let you have done it more and earlier. Just not try to pull the rug from underneath you so much or make things so hard you couldn't do it. And you know what? Probably what would have happened is you guys would have got tired of it quicker, and we'd probably started playing the game a little more as it was intended, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is more later on, so you want me to keep going? I feel like I'm hogging everything.
No.
Okay.
Keep going.
So also, and this is weird. This is around 3rd edition that I feel like I have lost my confidence. What I mean by that is I got so wrapped up in the 3rd edition rules, and early on I wasn't as comfortable. Oh, look at that. Charles is like us, dude. Charles Bartholomew, Chuck Norris, about the players, not the game, still playing with the same crew after 30 plus years.
That's the way to go.
That is the way to do. That is the way to do it, in my humble opinion.
After so long, you don't really care about the system so much.
Right. As long as it's D&D.
Yeah. As long.
But I lost my confidence because third edition was a lot about rules. And so early on in third edition, I was always looking to other players to confirm I was doing things right. Even in Pathfinder, there were so many rules. And I get that it's not bad to let a player help you with the rule, but I felt like I got dependent on players knowing the rules. And I didn't just make calls to make the game run smoother. And I think we'd have had an even longer run with 3.x or Pathfinder had I just went with the flow, made calls, not listened to, the rules say this, don't care. We'll figure it out later. I say that, but I wish I had done it more. And
and we as players should have been, and I think there were some of us, me included, that would have been at least initially like, but we should roll with, but that comes with experience and it comes with time. You can't just expect that to happen right out of the gate.
And it's hard with the third edition style game where you building characters, you want your characters to do this cool thing. And if in one scene the DM's call nerfs your one cool thing, it kind of grates at you. But you know what? With friends around the table, as long as your DM is not, I think you guys trust me, especially as an adult, I'm not trying to hose you.
Right.
And so I think it would have been fine. But it was hard early on. And then we got caught in that trap, right? It was all rules, all the pushing things around. Oh,
Cal hates us because he's jealous.
Well, jealous boy Cal, I got a solution for you. Move to Michigan.
Yeah.
And you can be with the group of all groups.
Or never mind our stupid governor. Just come up here for the D&D.
That is one drawback. But move to where Chuck Norris is. He's got a sweet group. Maybe he'll let you in. I wish I had learned. Well, you know what? This may not be a right one because I talked about once how I played a Ravenloft game with 10 players in 1E. I would like to play with a bigger table only because I would like myself to be more comfortable with more players and because I got a lot of friends here and I want them to play. So I think I'm going to get comfortable with that. But to do that, I think I necessarily have to stay away from miniature movement heavy games. I want
Bruce. You want Bruce wants where there is no winter. Come on, dude. Now I don't particularly love winter here, especially since I work outside, and I have to work outside during the winter too. So it's no fun.
Winter. I like winter better than today. Don't care for 94 degrees. Though it was low humidity. That's not bad. Cal says he's going to. No, that's the wrong one. Cal says he's going to try. So we're going to take that. He says no promises. We're going to scratch that, and we're going to say, I'm promising we're moving to Michigan.
Yeah, we're taking that as a promise.
So I expect Cal tomorrow night. You'll need to have a second level 5e character, and we'll look forward to seeing you, bud.
Yeah.
The winter would kill him. Yeah, the winter gets pretty crazy sauce. I do, and maybe this is Martinson. I think Martinson's hitting this on the head. I think he's talking about in reference to large tables. You have to do theater of the mind
to some degree,
and I'm doing more of it now since we're playing OSE and older games. And I kind of miss it. Yeah.
Someone said 5e in the chat.
What about it?
We don't have any mods to kick them out.
I'm playing 5e. You gonna kick me out?
Probably.
Oh shoot! All right, better make it quick, guys, because me and Connell could be on the outs. We could both be gone in moments.
You said the naughty words.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Better than fourth. I was getting ready to say it's better than fourth edition, but I don't know.
And this is good call. At least fourth edition wasn't like woke beyond craziness. Oh yeah, Patrick, of course. If Cal moves to Michigan, he gets a customary invite. Hey, you come to Cabin Con, not move to Michigan. You can come flying out here and play with us, homie. That's cool. I do wish I had done this. I wish I had, and I did this more during AD&D, but I wish I had built a world because I'm a little jealous of people that have a world like Shadow. He's been playing the same campaign world forever. I wish I had one and just stuck with it. That was all my own, even if it was a modified Greyhawk, which is probably for several years it was that. I was running, remember, I only ran Greyhawk. That's all I knew. I didn't even know there was really a sense of running your own game.
Right, right.
Oh, yeah, true, Connell. Good point. There's a good point for running 5e. He gets paid.
That's dirty money.
Oh,
I poke at 5th edition every chance I get.
yeah, Joe's a
Nothing personal.
no. Play what you want, dude. And I like it. I like 5e. It's always my second favorite game. But no matter what version of D&D you're talking about, I like it better than 5e, except 4th. I like 5e better than 4th. I probably like it better than OD&D. There's just not enough meat on the bones, though I can play Beckme. Right now, I prefer Beckme. Shadow says it's actually a game galaxy, not just one. Yeah, sure. But I bet your players feel like there's a lot of familiarity to them, that they see things, and it's the campaign that you run sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a little bit I just kind of wish I had. But, I did start exploring. I bought all the box sets. 2nd edition, I've said before, was one of my favorites with all the different settings. Planescape, Dark Sun, Birthright. So, who knows if I would have really stuck with it. Apparently I didn't.
Right.
I didn't have any others. Did you have any others from a DM?
Yeah, well, they kind of reinforce read the book and know the rules, even if you don't necessarily follow them. It's better that way.
Yep.
Know the fence. I don't remember the guy's name. Know the fence that you're getting ready to take down before you take it down.
There you go. That's good.
And, you may still end up taking it down, but at least you know what you're doing. If you play the rules, you know the rules, and you've played them for a bit.
And there's a drawback to the 3rd edition engine, 3.x Pathfinder. If you pull a rule out of there,
it's kind of like a Jenga game. Everything's too connected.
Well, it could be. I mean, sometimes you can't see the ramifications of a change. I know I experienced that multiple times trying to adjust certain rules that I thought were broken.
Lots of things. The game is tightly woven together. Lots of things tie back to other, like stats and feats and skills and classes. They're all really woven together, probably in what seems to be to some people good. I think it's too tightly woven together. And it's hard to manipulate. It's better to have, in my opinion, again, it's a little more modular. The rule set's flatter instead of lots of bumps.
Yeah, and I would like to see Mudsword to ride that fine line between simple rule base, but some wiggle room to build.
Right.
I'd like to see, this sort of logarithmic, slightly better than logarithmic increase, and then be off by a factor of maybe 1 or 2, not 600% like 3rd edition can be. CBK Ply.
Core 5e is fine. Everything WotC did after the core books is bleep.
Yeah, poop. CB, I don't think you're wrong. I don't. I don't. No, I think it's a very playable game. Joe and I.
It's playable,
and it's decent. It's a decent game. Joe just has some hate for it.
I call it weenie-fied D&D.
Weenie-fied. Fair enough. I agree with CBK. I think it's a plenty fine game. It's in my stack of books back here, and it will be one that I play from time to time.
Right. So the other things I had were to prep efficiently.
Yes.
Right. So it's more of a lazy DM, but not completely. So instead of trying to build your world in toto before you play in it, you have a loose structure, cards, index cards with things in it, some random tables, maybe a couple of bad guys, and a starting point, and then you go from there. More of a sandbox, and then you can build as you go.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yes.
It's a game. Yeah. It's not an exercise in therapy.
Right.
Sometimes we play games to blow off steam, but that would be it. If you have some issues you need to work out psychologically and you need to talk to your friends about it, that's fine. You do that separately from gaming.
And what?
So it's not a social exploration game, any of that. It's a game to have fun.
I was never doing any of that, but what I was doing, and you remember this, especially during my Seven Spheres campaign, I have never prepped more in my life, and I'm a hard prepper,
Mm-hmm.
than I did for Seven Spheres. I mean, it was tremendous amounts of work, and it
Mm-hmm.
had great payoff. It did. I mean, it was a 3-year campaign that had a beginning, middle, and an end. It was perfection, and it had a lot of player perfection. It was as close to a perfect campaign I've ever run. Having said that, it was too much work,
Right.
and I would
You
not.
burned out after that for a
Yeah.
while.
Oh, I don't know if I've fully recovered sometimes. I mean, you know, I've bounced between games forever since then.
Yeah, right.
I can't hold a camp. I've had one campaign that lasted longer than a few months, and that was that Greyhawk 5e game. That was a full year. So yeah, but I feel like I'm out of that sort of
Funk
Yeah, so
of 40,000 years.
I think I would still prep. I am a prepper. I would prep. I would prep moderately harder. I wouldn't just have a few tables and a couple of ideas, but I would cut back on. I need to worry about every single thing. I would say if they go off the beaten path, I have a table. If they don't, here's my plan. What I think they will do. We'll see what happens. And you guys usually do because I kind of know you. You know, it's rare that you guys really deviate too far. You at least go on the adventure that I have planned. You may turn it upside down and twist it and slam it into a meat grinder every now and again.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what I had to add in for the DM thing. Okay. So let me take the reins for player's perspective. It's not just about my character, correct? And that could that could be directed at folks. I know that I can be kind of aggressive.
Yep.
But I don't think I might, at this point at least, think of myself as a hog. I just you see something, you grab it, you know, in the game, so to speak.
Engage, number one.
Engage. And a lot of times it's because people hem and haw, you know, see a door. What are we going to do? I don't know. So you go up there, open it, even if you're not the thief. The thief is kind of twiddling his thumb. So sometimes it might be possible that people think that I hog the spotlight, but I just want to get things done.
I think, and that's one of the qualities I love about Joe at the table is, you know, because, you know, my players are adequately prepped to understand that Randy loves to trap, trick, catch you with your pants down. So I have a little statue sitting on the pedestal. What are you guys going to do? Everybody's discussing. Joe will discuss for a couple minutes, and they get stumped. I go grab it. That's what we're here to get. Let's get it.
But it could turn into something. It could set off a trap. Yeah, it could do all that stuff. But
hopefully it does. Fun is going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But it's not just about me. So you let the other players do stuff. And sometimes I don't engage because I'm waiting for them.
Yes.
And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but you really need to step back a little bit and let other people go.
Yeah, you're reining yourself in. Because I mean, Joe's not this. I mean, when you see him online, Joe seems like a boorish, complete douchebag. I get it, guys, but he's not. He's actually a pretty good guy, and so
mostly. Oh, maybe a little.
He's pushy. We all have opinions, man. Whatever.
Help the DM, and what I've learned to do as a player is to not surprise the DM, especially if they're not up on what the players are capable of. Yep. So in helping the DM, it helps to know your DM. So knowing that Randy doesn't like to be surprised, especially with funky spells, as a player of Wizards, I will say, hey, there's a spell that I would like to have that there's no reason why I can't have. You know, in the game, you can just, you know, go find it. Or you just made a level and you get spells. And it's not random. You get to select. So, hey, there's a spell. This is what it does. What do you think? That's what I do.
Yeah. And we have another player that likes to do the opposite. He loves surprise Randy. But I think it all depends. And here's the deal. You can say Randy's too much of a control freak, shut up and deal with it. But what I don't mind it if the spell is new and does something cool that doesn't break some other predetermined, consistent thing about spells. Like, for example, we've used it a lot, the spell compendium back in 3.x. They had spells that would allow you to damage golems with energy, like
Yes.
fireballs and lightning bolts, and they
Yes.
got around it by making these little spheres. I was like, and they bypass. They don't require. They don't. They bypass spell resistance. And the rules
Right.
stated, yeah, and the rules stated for golem, if there's spell resistance, the golem's immune to it. And I was like, oh, that's some nice cheese.
It's an exploit because they changed the way things worked in third edition so that everything that used to be resistant, it would say immune to magic. In earlier editions, it would say something different in third edition to the effect that anything that requires spell resistance, they make it automatically or something like that.
Correct.
And well, hey, a couple of years down the road, we have some brand new spells that don't require spell resistance that are dim spells, which breaks the D&D paradigm wide open.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hugely powerful,
right?
But they're annoyingly present.
And I wouldn't mind it. I think I wouldn't mind it now if a player wanted to bring it in. But here's how I would say it. Let's say it's a spell that you researched yourself. You're the first to have it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's brand new to the world. And that's letting you be a cool hero.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, now I'm ready for it. I'm not a big fan of surprise, here's a stupid spell. Yes, Bruce, but I do not believe there was a hit roll on that.
Probably not.
He said, Bruce said, regarding 3.x, if your spell has a hit roll, most of the time there is no spell resistance roll needed. No, I believe it was still a saving throw. It just said it, I believe, because I can't remember. If it wasn't, then I reacted poorly with that. But there was also, what was I going to say? Oh, well, I blanked. Go ahead, Joe. Finish it up.
Help yeah, me. So the idea is, with what I do is the surprises, the kind of spells or powers even that seem a little bit extra powerful.
Right.
You know, maybe even I've figured out this maneuver, this stuff is all there. Now, I can do this because of these reasons. What do you think? You don't bring it up in game because there needs to be a discussion outside of the game for several, for a lot of reasons, especially in the third edition paradigm. And first and second edition, it wasn't really that big of a deal.
No, I don't know what Connell's saying. So no funky Codina with Randy? What's Codina? What is that, Connell?
I don't know.
But yes, probably so. Having said that, you could take another take on that for me. If we're going to agree that the DM, well, as a DM, you need to know the rules too. Okay. Yeah. But in third edition, to expect any one person to know all the possible weirdo, broken combinations someone come up with is ridiculous. But we could still agree, look, in combat, it is what it is. So that would mean then, and I would be willing to do that on a certain level. And if we do that, then that means if I find some way to use a creature that could completely own the party, I'm going to do it. It's a CR appropriate encounter. I don't want to hear you complain. Here's the math. I wouldn't show the math. I don't really care what they say. So I wouldn't say, look at this. But I mean, the point is, I could play that kind of game, but I wouldn't enjoy that kind of game. I mean, for much longer. And then for not very long.
I think what Connell was talking about is Funky Cold Medina.
Oh, okay.
So Funky Cold Medina is you get tricked.
Right.
You get, Anyway, essentially, with the drug. Anyway, another way to help is you're not sure what you're going to do. Instead of bringing the game to a screeching halt, you just pick the thing you did last round if you can do it, or you just say pass because I can't think of anything. Be helpful, not to the game and the DM. That's just a couple of examples. There's a lot more, I guess.
He corrected me. He said Orb of Fire, Orb of Acid have no spell resistance. They have to be hit with a hit roll, maybe a touch to hit roll, but they have saves. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I overreacted. Fair enough.
No, you didn't. They are crap spells. Those kind of spells shouldn't be affecting golems.
No, not really. Unless you want to say you're the first guy to do it. But there are other ways to help the DM, as you were saying. I mean, not just that.
Anyway, let's move along. Help the other characters be cool. You can give suggestions, but not try to run their character.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Because you don't want to run somebody else's character.
Yeah.
But helping them to be cool might be taking a step back from the limelight so that they can step forward.
Yeah. If you know they have an ability to spring attack and jump back, maybe you don't get in their way to go after one of the minions because they're like, I'm going to go up there. I got a monk and I don't have a lot of hit points, but I'm going to pop this guy and jump back. And you're like, I get in the way because in the doorway, I blocked the door. So he can't really do it. So yeah, you let him do his thing, at least every once in a while.
Right. So do it as expected sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure this is on one of yours, so I'm not sure what you mean by that.
And we've alluded to it. So in other words, there's the idol situation, the idol on the pedestal. It's expected you're going to look at it and mess with it. Don't freak out because there may be a trap there. Okay. But also, if you come into a tavern and say the tavern keeper gives you some quest, and you guys agree to do it, and you go, you know what? He's kind of a weakling. We can do it and just keep the gem he asked for ourselves, or deliver it to the king instead of giving it back to him because he owes the king a favor. Hello, Grognard Tim. I think is this a new guy or is this our buddy Tim?
I don't know.
Grognard Tim, welcome. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. I saw that kind of went in one eyeball and out the other, didn't?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was our boy Tim or just a new Tim. Welcome.
A new Tim.
Yeah, probably not because I don't think our Tim is what I would call it. Well, he might be a Grognard. He's not quite our age. He's one of the youngest in the group.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this is a way to help. This is a way to help write down what your abilities can do on the back of your character sheet.
Boom. Yes.
So you're not thumbing through the books all the time.
Yeah, that was
Keep the game moving.
Yeah, know your character. Be ready to go. That helps the DM a lot. Don't hem and haw. But when it comes to what I was saying about do what is expected sometimes, you don't always have to let's make a plan before you go in this room. We know there's a dragon, not a dragon, we know there's a wraith in there, or we think there is one. Let's make an elaborate plan to go in there super pimped out, protected in all possible ways, when your goal is to save the princess. Welcome, new Tim. And so you're not really doing what's expected, which is to hurry. You should hurry when you're trying to...
yes.
Right?
Yes.
She's going to be sacrificed in 4 rounds. We got to make a plan. So we're going to spend 2 rounds casting spells. That'll give us a round to hopefully dominate the wraith and then run through the door and save the princess.
So if we're given a cue that time is of the essence, we need to make sure we're not hemming and hawing. Yes.
Act like it. If you're the hero, I guess.
If you're the heroes, yeah. Now, if you don't care about the princess, you're just there after the treasure, well, maybe you drag your feet and say, oops.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But if you're supposed to be the heroes, be them. Be heroes, and that's what you're supposed to be.
Right. And so, again, be helpful, but not pushy. I said that earlier. Know at least enough to run your character. So to CBK Ply, his point or her point or its point. Who knows? You should know what your character can do. You don't necessarily need to know all the rules of the game or what all the other characters can do, but you need to know your character.
Yes, you really do, and be able to use your stuff. You don't have to be good at it, but know what your spells do and what you can do. Yeah.
And finally, again, have a good time. Relax.
Yeah.
Get the stick out of your butt.
Mm-hmm.
You're here. It's a game. So have fun.
Yep. His point. CBK Ply. His point. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Cal is not lying, Joe. We do.
Yeah. Let's all be friends.
Yep.
That's
Evans, not Chris Evans.
Not Chris Evans. He wants to call half the people out there idiots because they don't like the new Lightyear movie.
Yeah, which is probably all of us. Yeah. So I didn't have much other stuff to add. Something crossed my mind just there at the end about having fun, but I was like,
did it cross too fast?
Here's one thing, and I do wish this because I find it frustrating, and even though I've been a player, I'm playing. Um, I wish people wouldn't get so worked up. And not everybody does this, but if you do, when their character dies, it's okay to be disappointed. It's fine, but just realize, it's a piece of paper in the end. But even minus that, you can make a new one. So
Yes, you can make a new one. Don't get so attached to your character that
Mhm.
you're willing to maybe cheat, maybe get upset and flip the table, any of that stuff. You can always make a new character.
Welcome, Sean Cherry. He's a first-time participator, I guess, too. So cool.
Well, what he says is in response to, yes, welcome, Sean, a long-time listener, audio, first-time watcher. So
Okay.
thank you for making the leap over.
Yeah, I like listening to podcasts, so I'm okay if that.
Yeah, me too.
I
don't have a lot of time to watch, and sorry to anybody out there that I don't watch a whole lot of videos because I got a lot of stuff to do and a lot of time to watch. But when I'm doing stuff, I often listen to audio. So if you have a YouTube channel, do what some people do, like us, and produce your audio into podcast format and send it out there on the airwaves, and you get more people involved.
I like when folks do both. I appreciate that.
But some people's videos or live streams, they're not geared.
Yeah,
they have lots of stuff there that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Chuck Norris says players have more fun when they know there's consequences. For sure.
Yep.
Here's something that's interesting to me before we leave the player side. I lost it again. Old man stuff.
We can come back. There's nothing that says we can't.
Okay. All right.
So we're moving. Oh yeah, you're in the driver's seat here.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to the general gamer perspective. So now we're talking about things we wish we had known or had done, differently. And I say this in it's kind of weird sounding. It says, "Gamer, know thyself." I think sometimes we as gamers want to play every game because we don't get to game. A lot of us don't get to game as much as we like. So we want to jump on whatever is happening. Now, it could be a first world problem that we have with 20 plus gamers we have. I've said this before. Not every game is for every person. And there are some, and not every player is for your table. I think I would say there's probably a few players at Cabin Con that might not be a great fit at my table for a long run campaign. Just may not be. And that's okay. And they may not be a great fit for Deadlands, but they might be great for D&D, And I think sometimes that's the thing that I wish I had, and this connects to the next one too. I wish I had known myself better once I started moving beyond the D&D realm and trying other games. I went on a crazy tear where I was buying all sorts. Oh, we got to start over? Raven. All right, here now. So y'all need to start over. Okay. Dang.
No, you need to be here on time. Do better.
Welcome to Biggest Geekus. No. Yeah, we've had people. Yeah, true, Patrick. We've had some folks admit they only like one-shot games. More power to them, dude. Do your thing.
Yeah.
But I think the connection to this is I wish I hadn't, my wall of stuff, which is half the size of what it used to be. I wish I hadn't wasted my money on a lot of stuff. I wish I had known what I really liked. Ooh, Rianne, Simos, Rebecca. Hey, I didn't expect older people presenting live KK. What's live KK?
Okay, KK.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Old people can't do it live? Come on now.
Sweet. I'm old. We're doing it live.
Age is just a number, right?
No, I disagree with that. Age is a thing. But anyway, I don't think Joe ever suffered from that, buying too much stuff.
I never really.
Killraven's rebuked.
I said do better.
So tell me this. Did you consciously think, I don't think
I had no money, so.
Oh, it was money. Had you had been a little more flush with cash, you think you would have made excess purchases?
I would have bought some more, but I'm not a collector. I'm not much of a collector of anything, so it really has to get my attention for me to buy it. Now, if I'm in a a role-playing game, I might want to buy all the books for it.
Yeah.
But I usually won't buy them a new game. Not all of them. I might buy the core book for another game if it's something I think I'm interested in, but I certainly won't buy all the books. I'm not a collector.
Yeah, I am a collector, but like I wouldn't like oh, Patrick, what does he say? Buying too much, I feel attacked. You are attacked, dude. No,
Initiative.
no, I just think I would have, and this goes to the next topic too. I wish I had tried a lot of games first, if I could have. I think we had game stores. I wasn't much for going to game stores. Like I bought Fate Accelerated and Fate and the Dresden Files RPG, and I have no intention of ever running those. Though the Dresden books I like because I'm a Dresden fan. It's got a lot of cool information.
Some tie-in stuff.
But I think I would have enjoyed. I think I could enjoy games more if I had. This is an old man talking. I think if I had less. That's weird. That's weird, but I think so.
If you had less,
because I have a lot of games in here that I'm never going to see the table. I just do. I mean, there's things that are never going to see the table. But that's I know it's not necessarily bad.
right?
Yeah. Oh, Sean Cherry. I love the way you phrased this. Yeah, my system collecting days are way behind me. I've got a garage full of RPG sorrow that I'll never. Yeah.
I think I went through a very short. Oh, I bought too much stuff, and I just never looked back again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very selective.
I think as collectible as things are, I'm safe because when I go looking back I get tempted to want to collect my old first edition or second edition stuff. I just see the prices. I'm like, I'm not paying that ever.
Right.
And with the internet, you're never going to find a cheap deal.
Yeah, with today's prices, especially, and the whole world situation, you got to be. For me, I got to be really picky.
Yeah. And I do think you should definitely, I think if you just play tabletop games with your friends, sure, you can have fun, but I think it's a good idea to at least explore other options like gaming at a game store, playing online, attending a convention.
If anything, just to see how it sits with you.
See what you think of it, and you can have an opinion. Now granted, going to a big con like our buddy Martinson, I think the first con he ever went to was Gen Con. That's a big expenditure. So that's a tough one to step into, but something local, or if you live near VentureCon, that's pretty cheap, or a smaller con, you can get away with that. I do think there's some value to that. I think had I done that earlier, had I gone back and gone to game stores when I was younger, I think I might and played cons earlier. Even though I went pretty early, I'm not sure how old I was when I first went to Gen Con. I've been to like 20 of them. CBK got me. We have just discussed that, dude. When are y'all going to start the segment? What's on? Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing a video. I'm reading Dark Tower, and I'm thinking of doing a retro review of Dark Tower as my first off the shelf.
It won't be a segment on our live stream. It'll be a video that we will post.
Just me. You get the glorious Randy. So, Joe's welcome to sit and enjoy my greatness. Oh yeah, Patrick, he's still spending money on Gen Con. But anyway, I just think if I could have done some of that stuff when I was younger, maybe I would have not bought as much stuff. I didn't have the cash then. And then of course what we've been saying for a while. I wish I had started cultivating a gaming group. I did have a gaming group, but as I got older and had more and more friends, wanting everybody to be around, we had people that probably weren't best fit for everything that we did. And we should have probably chosen more wisely, even through the Cabin Con experience. We had some rough ups and downs due to our choices.
That's part of the process. You can't know things. Yeah. You can't know some things before they happen.
Mm-hmm. I just wonder, because how could I do that, right? When I was 25, how can I say, oh, this is the type of guy that I like? Because I like lots of people.
Yeah.
I tend to be a friendly dude. So
we're very accepting. Cultivating happens over time. It's not like somebody comes by and says, "Can you play?" and we look them up and down and say no,
You check these boxes, you can play. No,
yeah, there's not an application process. It's just over time. People come and go. Some people stick, some people don't.
Oh, yeah. See, I guess I'm not really. I'm not a minimalist at all. But Grognard Tim, I have a limited collection of what I love and what I play: Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 1E and 2E, Twilight 2000 1E digital collection, and a fairly complete D&D 5E. That's it, dude. Stay strong.
Yeah, I'm only getting things that, if I can find them on eBay for cheap, which is difficult to do these days. Some of the older books. Anyway.
Yeah. Anything else from you that you would think of that we, as a gamer?
Yeah, I think I said it, and you have already said it, which is, I've added something that I think you've already said. Oh. Don't be too quick to sell or get rid of your books.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be too quick.
Yeah.
Now, be discerning.
Yeah.
But later on, don't just say, yeah, I'm getting rid of all of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think in retrospect on that again, I only regret it because I kind of wish I still had it because I'm playing some old stuff, but I'm not like, oh my God, I wish I had all that stuff. I feel so horrible. But,
right.
What I don't understand Bruce's statement here.
Which one?
It says, getting involved with a Randy table is like the start of a William Friedkin movie. You're Gene Hackman? Come with me. We have a Frenchman to find. I don't know if I get that. Sorry.
Well, an old movie of Gene Hackman's was called The Frenchman,
right?
I believe. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I've seen that one.
Yeah. I'm sure Bruce is having a little poke at my expense, but I'm not even. I like when I get it. I don't get it. I'm dumb. I'm dumb, Bruce. Yep.
You has the dumb.
Has the dumb today. Yeah. Oh, the French Connection.
The French Connection. Yes.
Yeah, completely forgot. Yeah, right. Yeah. Blankage. Yeah, do that.
Right over your face as you were talking.
That's cool.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe, everyone.
And tell them, do the scrolly thing. That's cool. I like that.
The scrolly thing.
This is Joe's new thing. Oh, look at that. Give us money. I like that.
See, on stream, what's his name? There's a YouTuber, when he's on stream, he'll have that little helix thing behind him.
Okay.
And maybe I'll get one of those just to poke fun. But yeah. So yes, do all the things: like, share, subscribe. If you're on audio, try to not hate the times when we are interacting here, and maybe get a little lost.
Sean is a good listener. Sean's a very good listener. Look at him.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Subscribed and alerted. He don't play.
Thank you.
Sean don't play. That's all there is to it. He knows how to do this stuff.
It's almost like his name is Homie.
I think it is. It's really close.
Sean Homie Cherry.
Wow, that's weird.
All right, so
I think we should move on. Unless you got something else you want to add, I think we can move on to the next segment.
Yes, which is misnamed.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh.
And then I will tell you.
One random question is misnamed. It says
you have 3.
I do have 3 random questions.
You can't do one.
No,
it's like a Ruffles. It's a Ruffles. You can't just have one, or Lay's, one of the two.
So yeah, I guess with this discussion that got to the whole stuff thing, and currently, I don't know if I'm at the end or the middle of my battle with nostalgia. But how do you battle it, right? I mean,
right. And there's a lot of places where the nostalgia hits you.
Yes.
When you're cruising. Well, when you start cruising eBay, you're already probably doing it wrong.
Oh,
but I wish I had that again. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would like to. I need to repurchase. What is it? Oriental Adventures.
Yeah. Is yours up or missing?
It's gone.
Oh, so is mine.
And I bid on one that started at $15 or $20. I was like, this is a good deal. So I put a bid in, and it went all the way up to $60.
Yeah, you can find them cheaper as long as you want a play copy. you want, collectible copy, it's different.
No, I just want one that isn't all tore up.
That's truth, CBK. Pringles, once you pop, you can't stop, dude. Gen Con 50 did a number on me when I looked at that glass case in the Gary Gygax Memorial Hall, and I saw everything from Gen Con 2 booklet all the way up to every little thing that I've ever seen, every version of D&D, all the cool box sets. I was like, ugh. Oh, Sean Cherry, looks like I can sell my copy of what's Right Star.
It's an RPG book.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of it either. So.
Oh, Patrick nailed it. This is how you battle nostalgia. The benefits of not selling your stuff.
No regret.
Yeah, true. I got
on that end, yes.
Yeah, but in the end, I mean, my house right now, if I had my crap, I don't know where I would put it. It would be stored in totes, which is dumb. I don't have great display places right now.
Right. So whether it's buying stuff,
mm-hmm.
or maybe getting into huge time sinks
mm-hmm.
And whatnot, nostalgia can be hard to battle.
Yep.
So you just have to, put your foot down,
yep.
Exert some self-control, which is, it's a kind of circular argument. Yeah. How do you control yourself? By doing it.
Which is, discipline yourself to pass on that thing you want to buy.
Most of us are married.
Yep.
Regardless of whether folks want to call us incels or whatever, but most of us are married,
mm-hmm.
or have a significant other, and we can enlist their help. I do that. I tell my wife to help me with certain things to keep me straight, because sometimes you can't do it by yourself.
What about this? I don't know if I even like the second question. I think
no. Let's do it. Okay. Is it wise to spend too much time on the old games? And we are old people.
Yep.
And we know a lot of people who like the old games. Fellow next to me is one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, old D&D books are still cheaper than a sports car. That is true.
That's the way to justify it, dude.
Yeah. I didn't buy a sports car.
At least I'm not buying a Corvette.
Right. But so yeah, I like the old games in spirit, but I'm not hung up on their rules, because I think some of the rules, like racist class, is kind of silly. But I know a lot of people love the old games. They're very nostalgic about it. Especially, I think the current times drive us into nostalgia, because right now, if you look at the hobby outside your table, you're like, I'm not even going to go near those weirdos, because it's all weirdos.
Yeah, and that's where, that's where I feel, and I know Exalted Funerals, woke as heck. I hope Gavin Norman's not. But that's where I like OSE, because I can buy the BX, and soon when I get the new one, the advanced one, I'm going to have a BX version of AD&D. And Darth makes a good point. Yeah, there are times there's good ideas from old games that you can use, but I think when I don't, because I wanted to buy, a Mincer or a Moldvay copy of BX or Eric J. Holmes, right? The first basic box set in halfway decent condition. That would cost me probably well over $100.
Probably.
But I did
especially if we still had the box in decent shape.
I did spend $300 something on a stupid Tiamat figure, so I'm not crying.
It looks nice on your table.
It does, sitting right there. Joe says that, but he's going to be fighting Tiamat very soon.
No. I'll be running from Tiamat very soon.
No, you'll be trapped in walls of force fighting her.
Right. So is it wise to spend too much time? What is too much?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're spending so much time playing that you're not looking after your hygiene and not eating properly or spending time with your loved ones, that's too much time. But if you're talking about just within your hobby allotted time that you normally would spend, if it's all old games, I still don't know if that's too much. If you like it, you got people playing and everybody's having a good time, then I don't see the problem.
So we have folks here that are just still playing second edition or first edition or whatever, and they love it.
Right.
I agree. What? Last question then. When we start playing the old games, I brought this up I think once before. I'm not sure it was a podcast, maybe. Will it remind us of the warts or reasons why we left those games in the first place?
Well, you know what? It will show us the warts.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that we ever thought there was anything wrong with the older versions. I mean, not much. I've never liked fancy and casting.
Right.
And there were some gripes I had with the older games, but I didn't not like them. I just had some gripes, and they were not enough gripes for me not to play.
And third edition was the new shiny, the savior of D&D when WotC came in. I mean, whether you liked it or not, they kept D&D a name brand when TSR was folding. Yeah, so I mean, I guess maybe, maybe the warts we thought were so bad. Now we look back at them and they weren't so bad. I mean, when we were heavy into third edition, if someone suggested, why don't you go back and play the Beckme, I'd be like, why? That's dumb. I would have said that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dumb game compared to what this is. I don't know about that though.
I think that someone here said in the chat, yeah. Oh, hold on, not that one. It moved there. Darthic said, yes, it's worth it to look at the old games. There are a lot of good ideas to be farmed there, and I believe that for sure. There's lots of good stuff in the older games to draw inspiration from, especially compared to the newer games. I know there's one or two 5e guides in here, I think.
Yep.
Maybe just 5e core, not the other stuff. But the older games have lots of stuff to mine, especially if you look through Rule Cyclopedia, like Bruce was saying, or the Gazetteers from the old days.
Oh, yeah.
They had a lot of good stuff in them.
Yeah. But, playing the new game has an advantage, too. You have more ready player base. If you're struggling, like I think our boy Darthic says he struggles sometimes, he says the biggest reason to move the newer game is that it's the new shiny, got to have it thing. It kind of is. I think that's the reason we do it. Whether it's the reason we should or not, I don't know. But yeah,
I know. I think I stopped with the new shiny at Pathfinder, but I was starting to feel it with 3.5, because to me, even though I think perhaps 3.5 was perhaps a superior product, it was definitely superior in presentation, but maybe not superior in play. Anyway, I looked at 3.5 as kind of a cash grab, and I know a lot of people look at 3.0 as a cash grab, 2e as a cash grab,
right?
on some level. But 3.5, they said we're going to change a few things, but then they realized that they were reprinting the core books at least, and they decided to change a lot more later on because we could, or they could.
Patrick,
so
go ahead.
So I didn't like that very much. They could have just handed out a revision. How hard was that? But they're not going to do that. They're going to get the core books and sell those.
Patrick, to defend him, if I can get it up there, Patrick says that Darthic, that's one of the reasons I collect as much as I do, because of the new shiny. But you know what? I think, and it's not fully defense on him, because I'm betting if he wasn't a game designer, Patrick would still collect like this. But he could use the argument, I'm a game designer. He needs to read new role-playing games and old role-playing games. I would say need in quotations, in the sense that it could help him design a new path for a game. Kilram said he got sick of the D20 games. I haven't gotten sick of. In fact, now that I've tried some other ones, I kind of like. I like the idea of rolling the D20. I am sick of how the D20 system itself, all its heavy 3X stuff and Pathfinder stuff, is too heavy for me. But I do like a D20 rolling game.
I think one of the things we might all have in common, or many of us will have in common with D20, is the source material bloat.
Yes.
So, and I've said in the past that I think that Palladium, the way Palladium presents its new source material is in world books. That's probably a better way to have gone than the way Wizards of the Coast went.
Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, maybe the same, who knows, second edition went with this having generalized splat books. So with generalized splat books, you have a class book and a magic book and a race book and class book number 2, race book number 12, and instead of having a world book and having many of these things live underneath a world book, which would make it easier for DMs to just ignore. We're not playing that world book, so all of those things are not included. I think that that would have made the D20 games, D&D and Pathfinder, more palatable.
Yeah.
But the source material got so huge, and you had 50 million wizard type characters and 50 million fighter type characters, thousands and thousands of spells, only maybe 20% of which were, I mean, you could use them all, but they're all variations on themes.
And that leads to one of the things we talked about that I don't like. I can't help but be surprised. I mean, look, I don't mind if a player does something shocking or cool in the game. I don't like when they cheese ball a rule and go, look, here's a cool rule I can do that no one ever uses, and I comboed it. But a lot of folks are saying they don't like D20 game. We have a friend, I think Patrick knows him very well, who's tired of D20 games because he's tired of level-based games. I wonder if there's sickness of D20. This would be at Legion. Who else said that? A few others said they didn't like the D20. I wonder if it's because they're just tired of level-based games. Probably not, because he does. I know Max loves his. What is that game? Earth Dawn. Yeah.
Drink.
Mm-hmm. I can say Earth Dawn. I don't have to drink.
Max is here.
Oh, he has to drink. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll drink my soda.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I imagine it's not the base system, the D20. Oh, you're just, I think I should say I'm bored of the flat 20. I don't know that many of these other variations are all add a whole lot. I mean, I suppose.
Yeah.
I just, I don't, I've been thinking of different dicing systems in my head and wondering at what do they all bring that's different enough that is it superior or is it just different?
That's what I've been thinking a lot.
And I think most of it is that it's different.
I think there is
an
element.
Superior.
We had talked offline about the bell curve. A lot of folks like the 3D6 or things that emulate 3D6 for a bell curve type shape. I get it. People want to be able to be high level characters or super proficient. They don't fail on their main thing except in a super extreme case. But for me, I played several games, and it's not that I don't like them, but I just like this. Give me D20. Let's do it. Roll your attack, hit the armor class. But yeah. I don't like the 3D6 max. He mentions he didn't hit. A friend that did it, he didn't like it. I don't like it because way too few super exciting things and way too few like super fails, if you're into that sort of stuff. And I like a little crazy in my game every now and then.
D20 is swingy. Any I think because it's a linear thing. It's just every result has the same chance of coming up. If you assign weird things at the opposite ends, it ends up being swingy. It'll be high or low, sometimes boringly in the middle a lot.
But at the mid to high levels, it becomes irrelevant. Even in second edition. Even in second edition, unless you don't give out magic items. But if you give out magic items in second or first edition, you allow specialization, double specialization, that sort of stuff, and weapon mastery. You start and people get Thakos that are crazy low.
Right. And they didn't build the game, and we know this. The game was not built to be played beyond 10th, 12th level, because I think that the designers of the game didn't understand why anybody would want to.
I think we've yet to see a version of D&D that's truly designed to be played beyond 12th to 15th level. 15th is a stretch. Pathfinder folks said that in 1E that 15th there was no creature in their books at the time around Bestiary 1 and 2, I think, that could challenge a party of higher than 15th level. If you're max builders. Pathfinder Furry Menagerie was also a turnoff. Yeah.
So if they had kept their furry menagerie in a source book or two, world book separate, that it has a at least thematic delineation, and you might still have players that say they want something from there, but it gives, even if that option seems a bit ephemeral or imaginary, the DM says we're not playing in that book. We're playing the core and maybe one or two other books.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we're playing.
Yeah.
And it makes it a little easier to justify the DM being heavy-handed or just wanting his game world to have a little bit less craziness to it.
He says, hold on, first, before I get to Bruce's comment, Legion says the bell curve makes the super exciting fail pass that much more exciting. Maybe, because it's rare. I'll give you that. Sorry. Mr. Max Boivin, if I can get this. I like a dice pool. A roll you're good at feels different in the hand than a roll you suck at. Fair enough. There's a visceral feel for that. And I get what that's saying. And Bruce says I have to amend something. Amend that I will run, I don't know what Mega Meepo is, on a table of 17th level characters, and they will scream like they just got trapped apart by Tucker's kobolds. Yeah. Mega Meepo? I don't know what that
must have been a crazy build from then.
Yeah, but is that an adventure that you've written, Bruce? What I'm saying is Pathfinder, if you go back, James.
Meepo the kobold became a god. Yes. Meepo, is that from Dragonlance?
No, Meepo was a kobold in the first 3rd edition adventure that was published by WotC, Sunless Citadel.
Oh.
Yeah. Because my wife fell in love with him the way I played him. Yeah, correct, Bruce. But I don't know what you mean by that Mega Meepo. Is that your own homebrew? Because I would say if you run most adventure paths, characters get to 17th or 18th level, they win. You can't beat them with adventure from Pathfinder. Not that I want to beat them, but if you run monsters straight out of the book. Now, I take it back, because the adventure paths did a lot of messing around with stuff. But if you run a monster straight out of the book, you can't grab a book monster and just run it and probably have much of a chance against 17th level characters.
Especially when you go CR and appropriate level.
Correct. Adventure. You have to be devious and make plans. I'm not saying you can't do it if you really think about it. I'm saying as a straight up fight, they're not built for it. At least that's what the creators said, and I kind of agree with them. Mega, yeah. Oh, they had a bunch of that too. Meepo was different. Was he different from the Pun build? Because Pun was a kobold that could do the aberration master polymorph. He basically could make any stat infinitely high by redoing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Almost all those builds have some cheese built in where they interpret something a little more loosely.
Right.
The guy that built the Pun said, if your DM is okay with this and with these two things, you could build a never-ending challenge. Bruce, yeah, I get you, dude. Advanced Bestiary, sure. I'm saying that Paizo, I'm just quoting James Jacobs. I think I'm right. Maybe I remember something else wrong. But they did say their adventure paths were not geared for characters over 15th level. And that
I believe that.
And that the bestiary itself, early on, the bestiaries early on, 1 or 2, were not built to challenge characters over 14th, 15th level. And I found that to be true. And holy crap, if you add the mythic stuff like I did, and I have a third-party mythic book that, fair enough, I didn't look at it close enough, but I didn't see anything in there that you guys couldn't handle. Not a thing. But you guys were max, 20 levels, 10 mythic. So you were the most ridiculously, and I was super generous with gold. So you could buy all kinds of superpower. You were the most, I would say, you'd be hard-pressed to build more powerful characters other than just mastering some build that was perfect, The
challenge would have been to adventure to 20th level and 10th level mythic and see how that goes and see how ridiculous it gets, and then maybe halfway through that say, yeah, this is kind of stupid, let's do something else.
Yeah. I think he says Bruce says it was garbage, and I don't fully agree with that statement, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand.
There were some neat ideas, but you're right, it wasn't the best.
Randy has Rapanathook.
He does, Bruce. Hold on, Randy's gonna get it.
He's got a sweet version.
Yes, I got the Swords and Wizardry version. Oh, let's see. Oh, boop.
Where'd he go?
Don't
you have a black cover?
Entertain them for half a second.
Oh, what am I supposed to dance for the people? They don't want to see that.
Dance monkey.
That's not nice. That's kind of, well, not precisely, but kind of racist. The Amazing Dungeon. I've never heard of that. The highest end of most games is just nice. Yes, I agree, Killraven, mainly because they're not designed properly, I think.
Look at that, Bruce. Love it.
Swords and Wizardry version. I think the highest end, it could be a combination of factors why the high end of a lot of these games don't work. It's because I don't think that they play test out that far.
Yeah.
So they want their game to have high levels, but they don't really design it properly. And it might be that high level play is a unicorn, well-designed high level rules in game books might be a unicorn. Because I know D&D has never had good high level rules, has never.
But I've always, and apparently Bruce can too, I've been able to handle characters to whatever level they want to go to.
Yeah, you just have to do your own thing.
Yeah, you do. And I think once you play, I think any DM that plays a campaign long enough, if you push characters to 12th level, 13th level, and if you start getting like owned at the table because your players are so good, you got to start thinking and start planning and see what they can do. And then you just make the monsters what they need to be.
And I think that the table needs to adjust for high level.
Yes.
The game may not need to. I think the table does, and the table needs to change its pace and play high level occasionally, get into the domain side of things, and take a step back from bashing monsters, because at high level that's kind of easy. I mean, if it's a straightforward monster bash, I mean, high level characters, that's what they do. They can do that very well. So the DM needs to bring something more interesting than simple monster bashing, and the players need to engage in that and provide good input for the DM to take the campaign in some direction that's more interesting than monster bashing. If all you do at high level is get into a dungeon with more tougher monsters, it's just not going to be. It might be satisfying to some people, right? It may be where they just kick monsters in the head all the time. No, but for a lot of players, I think that's another reason why D20 games, especially, they get tired of them.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think you have to. I know when I played high level games, even Seven Spheres, and you played in it. You played even the old ones were high level. We'd have sessions that were directed completely by you guys. Meaning you guys would decide what you're into, and it often wasn't a fight. Though I would think, if you guys were like, "Hey, we're going to go do this exploration. Want to check this thing out. I need to get this piece of equipment," and I would throw, maybe I would usually throw like a mundane fight at you. I remember thinking this: I'm going to give him something easy. You would wipe the floor with it, and that wasn't because I wanted you to be cool. I wanted to fake you out. And then when you got to where you wanted to go, I had some super complicated thing. I was like, dude, I'm going to put a trap on this that has minus 50% to the thief's chance to pick locks. And it's going to have a super high level chain contingency of, death spell followed by disintegrate, followed by power word kill, all focused on Joe's Wizard. This will be sweet.
Yes. Very sweet.
And you should do stuff like that. You should not be afraid to make things hard.
Yeah, they should be hard.
Yeah, Bruce is
harder's better. That's what everybody says.
Current game I'm running is at 9th level. I plan on hitting into 20th, but I curate the crap out of it. I modify that, and I make my players work for their achievements. Yeah, dude, that's how you do it. Yeah. Oh, Patrick, he remembers running game. This is true. High level games that never saw a die roll. That can be fun. It can't be forever, but it can be fun.
Yes. So, see. Thank you, Grognard Tim.
What?
for part 2 of this. High level play is possible. My last campaign, I took the players to 20 and 5e. It is the planning, as Randy just noted. It's about the world being changed by the actions of the characters. It becomes the story. Right, Joe?
If you hadn't said that, Grognard Tim, you would have been the best post ever.
This is the best post of the evening. I would only slightly amend it to say Joe is right.
Right. Slightly amended. Oh, well. Grognard Tim, he's kind of new on this, so he'll learn. Don't compliment Joe.
He's not new. He's a long-time listener.
He's new to being right. He's new to being in the stream, so he doesn't realize he should not. You don't feed Joe after midnight, and don't compliment Joe ever.
Okay. Sure. Thanks. No compliments for Joe.
And Legion is not wrong here. Max says somewhere around level 12 it becomes more work. He's not fully wrong. Then fun as a DM. If you don't listen to your players. I played plenty high level AD&D 2E, 1E. You let them be what they are, and then you have to create. But he might be right. He doesn't want to spend that time doing that, and it's easier. But to me, I've heard Max talk about campaigns. He puts serious thoughts in his campaign. Why does that change at 12th level, Max? Just put serious thought into it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a couple of things. It's a matter of taste.
That too.
And it's a matter of what kind of DM are you. And from listening to Legion of Myth, Max over there, he has timetables, though he doesn't necessarily. He's not like the engineer at the railroad track like some folks are, but he's a little bit like that. So maybe too much player input it just rankles him enough to where that's not the plan I have for this game world. So it breaks down for him.
Yeah, and it may be because there might be a fun factor. It's gone for him, and that's fair. That's a preference.
Maybe the amount of and type of planning that goes into making the D&D high level experience good at the table, which can be challenging.
Yep,
is more than, and he said that it's more than what he
likes,
and it's all preference.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more of a he doesn't want to because Max has the ability. I've heard him talk about his campaigns. He has great ideas. Yo, right. Duncan Bradley's in the house. Just join us. Woo.
Yes, just joined us. We are getting towards the end, but we do have some stuff left to do.
We do.
Because one thing I have to say is subscribe.
Yes. Do it.
Do it often. So,
yeah, look at Matt. Here's Max. Level 12 to 14. I either easily pwn the characters or they steamroll the encounter. I can do it, but it takes more effort than I'll. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Sure.
It does take effort and a different.
It does.
Yeah. All right.
For it.
Let's move into segment 4. And playing. And I just want to make a comment because I picked this topic, playing with or without miniatures, because I feel myself transitioning. Strangely enough, as much money as I've spent on miniatures.
Am I going to have to call you like Renee?
Maybe if I know what Renee is. So what does that refer to?
You said you're transitioning. I mean, are you going to start wearing women's clothing and a wig or something?
I'm starting to feel like that I'm miniature fluid. And
okay.
So, no, I love my minis. They look cool. As I played last Wednesday, as I told you guys. Oh yeah, hold on. Okay, Kill River made a good point.
Yes.
Running an epic level 3-5 game broke me from bothering to do full stat blocks for monsters. That is correct.
Minimal stats.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you gotta make that stuff work for you. And roll for sanity. Oh, how easy! Look what they said. Roll for sanity. Thank you. Just change my Y to an I.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Call me Randy, Joe. Randy. Oh, anyway.
Miniatures.
Yeah, miniatures. So I did my second play test of the VentureCon game, and this was last Wednesday night. I mentioned it. And I did a lot of only pulling out minis when we needed to. And even when I had them out, at least one battle, I didn't even move them around much. And I counted a few squares just using movement. But the truth is, I'm inclined to use a blank battle map and not even count squares. Oh no!
Apparently,
Randa.
Randy is a good stripper name.
Randa is a good stripper name. Good for super chats. Sweet.
Randy with an I. Good for super chats, which we don't get yet.
Super chats, we do not. One day we'll be super with our chatting. But I'm kind of becoming a big fan of Theater of the Mind. I mean, a big, big fan of it. Not that I want to throw my minis away, but I want to do a lot more of it.
Well, there's definitely some opportunities. I mean, Theater of the Mind is best suited for simple combats and low stakes combats, where you know it's going to be over quick, one way or the other.
Yeah.
And a lot of Theater of the Mind can happen away from combat too.
Yes.
You don't have to draw every tavern table, and you don't have to have all that on the table. That can all be Theater of the Mind. You're in a tavern and blah 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 blah, and you keep going. You don't have to do a lot of mini placement on the table. You don't have to do a lot of drawing or prepared maps or any of that.
Yeah.
And then just bring out the minis for the combats you think you need them for, because they're going to be complex.
So Cal and Bruce are both loving the mini combat. Cal says, I want action. Skirmish level is nice. I agree. I've had a great amount of time moving pieces on a board in 3rd edition. Bruce says, love mini combat. Can't stop me. Won't stop me. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not saying there's a problem. Roll for sanity. I'm glad to have you, bud. D&D combat is very hard to do in Theater of the Mind. That is not completely false. But you know what I find, Mr. Sanity? Here's what I personally found. When we first started D&D, we first started playing D&D, I had minis, but they were literally sitting in the same spot at the beginning of the game till the end.
Yeah.
No thing with them. And what I've found, now that I've gone back to more Theater of the Mind, because it used to be like playing a chess game, and I mean, in 3rd edition, because 1st edition, 2nd edition was all Theater of the Mind with looking at minis. Look at this cool paint job, doing nothing with it. Then I got really beholden to the minis, and I was drawing maps out elaborately. Players were counting squares. We go down this hall, and I go 30 feet, which is only part of my movement. If I turn my head and look around the corner, does that count against my movement? You know, we'll talk about the mechanics.
Right.
Got a little annoying, but we still had a lot of fun playing minis. What I'm finding is my description started to wane because I was drawing a lot. And now, without drawing dungeon rooms and just describing it, players, first of all, have to pay more attention or you get lost quick. Second of all, I have to pay attention and think about being descriptive. I like that challenge. I think it makes me a better DM. Me.
Yes.
But I do like mini plays, don't get me wrong, and set piece battles. Yeah.
I like this. Placing minis is vague approximation. It helps with Theater of the Mind and gives a reference point. That's all a lot of people need.
Yeah. And I agree with this too. Killraven said, sometimes big set piece battles. I think that's when minis should come out.
For sure. I don't think there's many people who can run a big complex battle unless they offload it or don't worry about. They offload some of it to the players because the players move up to a certain person, and once they've moved up to a target, then you don't necessarily have to worry about where folks are at. But anyone who says they know where everybody is at moment by moment, they're liar, pants on fire. Vague, in some vague sense, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce says, I can't wait to do true non-gridded combat. But
Use ruler.
But I want to see where I can place this spell. Tough shit. Make your spellcraft and put a cleric on duty. Yeah, because you're about to fireball half the group. And you know what? That's kind of fun. Every once in a while, you should hit your party with a spell. And why I say that is because combat is chaos. It should be perfect placement of the fireball. I never hit my party. Now, you can have rules that avoid that, like the 3rd edition thief and barbarian that would get that evasion roll.
Evasion. Rangers.
What was it? Was it monk and it was rogue? Was it ranger?
There were actually quite a few people that got evasion at one point or another.
Yeah.
Rangers had evasion at some point. Rogues, barbarians.
Yeah.
Yeah, several had evasion.
Oh, there's a cool idea. Roll for sanity. Make players track monsters' hit points. I would be leery to do that because there are times I want to keep the monster hit points to myself. Yeah. Yeah, I think picturing the battle in your mind's eye is good. I think it helps. I don't know. So far, I feel like I've engaged the table with that.
Bruce Lombardo wishes I saw him run Curse of the Crimson Throne in 2011. The players were 15th level and they got ambushed by 2 ancient dragons. Oh, that didn't go well, I'm sure, for the players.
Nice.
Right, because it's one thing for the players to have time to plan, but you turn the corner and then the alerts are black and a blue. Owie. It was so sweet. I'm sure it was. Yes. So miniatures. I think that there is room for theater of the mind, even in D&D, and there's room for if you wanted to run all tactical. Again, it's a matter of taste. I think that with a lot of people, I hear a lot of people say in podcasts or whatever, slowing combat down, slowing the game down, is a problem. So sometimes putting miniatures out or drawing, measuring, and not using theater of mind can slow stuff down. So if you're prioritizing speed, theater of the mind, even if some things are a little fudged because you can't remember precise positions, it might improve your speed of play.
And realize I'm literally not saying, I'm saying for battles, I probably will use minis for the most part.
Right? Yes, we do.
But I think I'm a lot less inclined to do that. Oh, Shawner, dang it.
I thought that roll for sanity was ringing a bell somewhere.
That's his podcast. That's his. God.
That's a title for some of his videos. Yeah.
What a brain cramp. I got a brain cramp. Thanks, dude. I should have known that. I knew that. Yeah. But Patrick says, I think the player tracking monsters hit points allows to game the game. Agreed. And even question the DM if he makes changes. Right. Which is fine. I mean, I don't want to necessarily be dishonest, and I prefer to do it because I like to know the stuff, and I don't necessarily want to change hit points, though I have.
So yes, Legion of Myth. I don't know if you already put this up. A good hybrid between theater of the mind and minis is good. I agree. An over-reliance on either is meh. Again, preference, but mix it up.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. I think that's kind of my place where I'm at now, which is I've been slowly last couple of years moving away from miniatures. Joe has seen it at the table. I mean, I have them, but I don't rely on them, and we're not chessboarding every single scene or movement between one room to another or one situation to another. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to chat about? I feel like we're getting near the end here, bro.
Yep, we're at a little over 2 hours. Sorry for the folks who joined late, but we are a little over 2 hours, so we are probably going to once again put up this.
Yeah.
Subscribe. We're gonna change up the end of show a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when we call out all of our links and name them all, we often trip over our tongues and sound a little weird, sound a little ridiculous. So we're not going to do that for a couple. See how it goes. And what we are going to say is especially for those who are listening after the fact on audio only, that you can catch us out in the interwebs, where you always could at biggestgeekespodcast.com. The audio is out for podcast consumption a day or two after the release of the video, after we've live streamed. And you can, if you have any questions or comments, email us at email us at thegeeks@biggestgeekespodcast.com.
Yeah. And you said we were on all the socials and videos. That's cool.
Yeah.
I would say that I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. You guys were on fire tonight.
Yes, lots of commentary.
Good comments. But yeah, I think we're ready to get the heck out of here, don't you, Joe?
I do.
Okay. Well, this is Randy.
And this is Joe.
And remember, if you can't be big like us, then be geeks like us.
Yes, and as soon as I hit that, oh, that's the wrong one. I have a new one.